Trump just passed a bill so massive, so sweeping, it's being called one big, beautiful bill. But is it a gift or a Trojan horse? After a brutal 27-hour marathon in the Senate, Vice President J.D. Vance cast the tie-breaking vote, and boom, President Donald Trump's flagship tax and spending bill passed by a razor-thin 51-50 margin. And Trump? He's calling it a major win for the American people, promising lower taxes, higher wages, stronger borders, and a military built like a tank. His words, not mine. Almost all of our great Republicans passed it, Trump declared on Truth Social, urging the House GOP to unite, stop grandstanding, and get the bill to his desk before the July 4th barbecue smoke even clears. But here's the million, or maybe trillion-dollar question. What's actually in this 900-page monster of a bill? Let's break it down. You ready? If you work in a restaurant, salon, hotel, or anywhere, tips are your bread and butter. This is big. You'll be able to deduct up to $25,000 in tip income from your taxable income. That's a first. Plus, new deductions for overtime pay, aimed squarely at those working double shifts, while inflation chews through every paycheck. But don't get too cozy. These benefits phase out if you make over $150,000 individually or $300,000 as a couple. So yeah, this one's really targeted at the middle and working class. At least on paper. If you're over 65, a new $6,000 senior deduction might land in your lap, up from the $4,000 originally floated. It phases out after $75,000 for individuals, but for those on a fixed income, every dollar counts. Babies born between 2024 and 2028, they'll get a Trump account, a $1,000 government-seeded savings plan that grows in an index fund. It's not spendable now, but it's an automatic head start. Think of it like a 529 for everyone, no application needed. Bought a US-assembled car recently? You might qualify for a $10,000 deduction on interest paid, depending on the loan terms. Not for everyone, but still worth a second look when tax season rolls around. Now let's talk about the flip side, because this bill gives with one hand and takes with the other. First, Medicaid. If you're an adult between 19 and 64 without a disability, you'll need to prove 80 hours of work, volunteering, or training every month. And if you're a parent, unless your kid is under 14, you're not exempt anymore. Eligibility checks move from once a year to every 6 months, meaning more paperwork, more headaches, and more chances to lose coverage. CBO estimates 8 million people could lose Medicaid by 2034. Work requirements are expanding. States with high error rates and benefit distribution now have to cover the costs themselves. That's going to hammer poorer states and could result in $100 less per month for over 600,000 families. Clean energy? Not so much. The bill guts nearly all of the clean energy tax credits passed under Biden. Electric vehicles, solar panels, heat pumps, poof, gone or about to expire. What's replacing them? New tax breaks for fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, plus an end to excise taxes on production. If you're in Texas or West Virginia, that might feel like a win. If you're in the solar startup game, not so much. Space? Yes, space. Surprise twist. $10 billion for Mars mission planning, $325 million to help deorbit the International Space Station, and $85 million to relocate the space shuttle from Virginia to Texas. Because why not? All tucked neatly into a $29 billion defense budget for shipbuilding and another $25 billion for missile defense. Trump's biggest spending boost? Right here. $46.5 billion for border wall expansion and surveillance. $45 billion for detention centers. $30 billion for training new ICE agents. And a new $100 asylum application fee. The message is crystal clear. Immigration enforcement just got a major upgrade. The deficit bomb. Now the part that really matters, the cost. The Congressional Budget Office estimates this bill will add $3.3 trillion to the national deficit in the next decade. Other estimates, factoring in interest, say $5.3 trillion. Supporters call it an investment. Critics call it a wealth transfer. Here's why. Households making over $217K per year will get the biggest tax cut, around $12,500 on average. Meanwhile, families making under $35K, they get about $150. What does this mean for you? If you're a senior, look into that new deduction. If you're a tipped worker, start tracking every dollar. If you're on Medicaid or SNAP, get ready for more red tape. Thinking about solar or an EV? You might want to wait. And remember, this bill still has to pass the House before it hits Trump's desk. If they edit it, we're in for another round. If they don't, it could be signed into law before you light your first July 4th sparkler. This isn't just about politics. This is about your wallet, your healthcare, and your future. One big, beautiful bill, or one big, beautiful mess. That's for you to decide. But now at least you know what's inside.